Live.
Okay. I'm sorry, people. I have problem with this thing, and I start saying again, hello, M. How you doing? G. Hud, Miss Norris, Cheryl, and tonight is the night that the OGs chat, and we talk about whatever we want to talk about because we old like that. Hey, Rudy. Oh, Rudy, it's been a while since I've seen you. Glad you're here.
Oh
Glad you're
yeah.
here. Mm. But like I said, we talk about whatever we want to talk about. And tonight, before I started talking, though, hey, G Hut, I just want to say Happy Father's Day to
Happy Mac.
all of the fathers.
PIA.
Hey, PIA, Happy Mac. Mike, come and get those doggone squirrels. Because now I thought I had got rid of them, but I see that I didn't.
That was so funny,
But,
Batman, when I saw that when you went out there and you was looking at your fruit trees and you was like, yeah. And then you said, first thing I saw was a squirrel.
I'm for real. I'm for real. I'm thinking, that the stray cats and myself had got rid of. But
Yeah.
then I look around, that's the first thing I saw. And
Hey,
I hadn't
Mike.
seen one in about 3 or 4 days, so I thought we had
They say you got to
solved
get
that
up early.
problem.
You got to get up early.
I think what it is some more move in when those move out.
That happens too. That happens too.
Yep.
Just like somebody say, they don't die, they just
Hey,
multiply.
Cassandra, Mike.
Yeah. Hey, Cassandra.
But
Hudson and Cheryl, if I didn't say hi to you earlier, let me say, make sure I didn't miss you. Hello.
hey, Cassandra.
I'm surprised the squirrels ain't eating my peaches yet.
I got 2 peaches on my peach tree, and I hope they hold on.
I got the Mystic Peach. That fell. All those peaches are gone. Those were sweet and wonderful and everything.
Did you eat them or something got them?
No, the family ate it.
Oh, okay.
But I did eat one.
Okay, but you in other words, you did harvest them.
Yeah, we harvest them.
Okay, well, you didn't have the problem I had.
But now my Florida King, I got about 20 of them out there.
Hey, that's my art.
They about like that. They about a little bigger than a tennis ball, but they're slap red. Every last one of them slap red, but they're still hard.
Mm-hmm.
That's my art. Hello, how are you?
And as I was saying, that I wish everybody a happy Father's Day, and I hope we get some guys in the house because I want to talk about y'all.
Yeah.
And we ain't talking about how sorry they are. We want to talk how good they are.
Yeah.
We're not gonna pass y'all today. Now you gotta
and that part too. But let me tell you guys what Fran did to me.
Hey, Angel.
We went to my daughter's church with her today, and it was very, very inspiring. And then Fran took me to dinner, lunch or whatever you want to call it, after church. And she told me, said, you better enjoy this now, because this is the only day you're going to get. Wow. I said, say what?
Hey. Yeah, well, you know what? I'm going to put it this way. They treat us men so bad. Now, I don't use profanity or nothing, but you name a curse word that really represent men. You can't even think of one.
Well,
they got a lot of words for women, but when it comes to a man, they ain't got many curse words for men.
No, they don't.
Well, the thing about it is, I probably get cursed out every day or every other day by somebody.
Okay.
Okay, Cheryl.
by somebody. You know what I'm saying? And so it done got to the point that, like the speaker said today, I ain't used to it, but I can live with it.
Hey, Queen.
Hey, Queen. Well, people,
what happened to J3?
Hey, Mama Shirley.
He just dropped off. But
hey, Papa Banner. Happy Mother's Day to all the fathers in the building.
Yeah, I hear you, PIA. But what I wanted to do was introduce my mystery guest from my Tuesday night chat, and that's Unbiased.
Say what?
Say
what now?
But hey, Devora.
I told Miss OG I was coming for her status. OG bias. I like your hair, Queen.
I like yours too, sweetie.
Thank you.
But I was glad she was able to visit with us tonight. And when I talked to her, I was so thrilled that she said that she would come up on tonight. So that pleased me very well.
You getting old.
Tell her you don't have to be old, Unbiased, to be on with the OGs.
Nope.
Yeah. So she got her OG card, so she good.
Hey.
Yeah, Mama Shirley, you make sure you inspect those cards when they come up here on Sundays.
Oh, Lord.
How they say? Gotcha.
Okay, we're starting this already. Listen, I heard J3 about to talk about the dads and the fathers and whatnot, and the internet cut him off because
that was me. I did.
No,
I was moving.
They knew that it was gonna be some janky stuff going on.
Because the comment show jumped up in there saying, "What you say, J3?" I guarantee you, we got some names for you. Y'all just ain't heard all of them yet.
Well, see that's the point I'm making right there. There's a whole bunch of names that you hear all the time about women, but us men don't get no credit.
Well, I'm gonna say,
and if you ain't got a good woman in the house, you don't get no credit on your birthday either.
Well, I'm gonna say it like this: that now, my understanding and my livelihood, the females was the backbone of the family.
Yeah.
Period.
So I mean, facts are facts.
Oh yeah.
Father's Day is a great day to celebrate and just say, yeah, I'm a daddy, you know what I'm saying. But you know, my thing is, are you a real father or just a sperm donator?
And there is a difference.
Yes.
There's a difference between a daddy and a father.
And there is a difference between a mama and a mother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
You know, that
What's up, David?
Hey, Dave, I got your stuff on the way. But, you know, that was my question. Are you or have you been a good father? I didn't say good husband. I said good father.
So, and if that is the question, what do you consider to be a good father? What are the criteria for that? Because that could be a broad thing. Some people may think a good father is the one that just come every other weekend and spend an hour or two and buy this and buy that and go about their business. And then some people may think that, you know, they put their child care provide. I mean, you know, whatever. So what is it?
Well, yeah, I was laughing at CC. She said she had a good baby daddy.
Yeah.
But
now
my thing is, like I said, I take my topics from something that I have discussed with other people or talked to other people about. And we was talking about Father's Day with a group of people, and a group could be 3 or 4, you know. And this one particular person says, well, yeah, I'm going to celebrate Father's Day Sunday. I said, well, I didn't know you had any kids. He said, yeah, I got 6. I said, well, where have they been? Where are they? Said the mama won't let me see them. I said, bull. That's bull.
It could be true.
Because if you want to see your kids, you can see your kids.
But that may be true though, because it depends on what happened. But do he have 6 kids with this one person that he can't see the kids?
Thank you. That's
oh,
why.
No.
Yeah, this is why I said, you can be a father or a sperm donor.
Right.
Yeah.
He's choosing not to see the kids. He living his life. That's what he doing.
Thank you.
If he got 6 kids with one woman, no. You something right with that picture.
Thank you. That was the topic that I really wanted to talk about tonight. Because
do the children want to see him? They may not even want to fool with him.
Depending on how their mother got their mind.
Hey, Cato family. Hey,
or they old enough to see for themselves what they don't like.
Right.
Well, there's a couple of them that are old enough. I know that for a fact. Because
I'll wait till y'all give me a chance.
I know the people
thing on this.
I know the people that they was talking about.
Okay.
That he was talking about. So I know some of them are old enough.
Well, I used to be a social worker, and believe me, in the system, and I've seen all the different versions possibly. I've actually taken kids away from the dad, given to the mom, or took them from the mom and gave them to the dad. I've put kids in the system. I've had to do things that I really didn't want to, but due to the circumstances of the household, I had to. And to listen to some of the stories, especially of Black Americans, it's sad that the statistics that we have of having the fathers in the home is staggering. It's just unbelievable. And it's not always the daddy's fault now. I'm not trying to say the woman got a halo above their head. I done heard some stories, and I've seen some fathers who have stepped up and took the kids and raised them like they should have been raised, because
that's true, Emma.
Mom just was an incubator. She carried them and dropped them off and kept going, and she felt like she didn't have a life. So she gave them to dad, and dad took them. And some dads are very responsible. Some of them were new, didn't know what to do, had to take classes and learn how to be a mom and a dad. So I've seen it on both sides of the fence in regards to how that can work out. And also I had adopted kids, who are looking for their parents. There's not a form on the earth that I haven't seen in regards to how that scenario can go, regardless of what nationality, race, or creed, in regards to the father stepping up and being the head of the household. But the Black Americans pretty much, I put it like this: the world thinks that the average Black man does not know how to be a father, when there's plenty of good fathers and men out here, whether it's the real dad or stepdad or adopted dad, or it might be a brother or uncle or a cousin who might step up to take dad's place. There was a man there. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, it's Miss Cheryl said some women want the man not want them. They just want to be with the kids.
Yeah.
Right. But
I've seen that too.
Yeah.
I put it this way. Too. Is he a father or is he a daddy? For the simple reason, a father and daddy are 2 different things. Yeah. Anybody could be a father, but everybody can't be a daddy.
Yeah.
A daddy is going to take care of you, take care of that home and everything. I had a father. I met my father in 74 for the first time. I graduated high school not shortly after that. But the whole time I was trying to get him to accept me. My mom said, well, that's your firstborn right there. Go change his name. Give him your name. When he get ready, he'll do it himself. So
true, David.
I heard my mom when he told him that. So I jumped the gun. Back then it was a little easier to get your Social Security cards and everything. So I went down to the office myself. I filled out all the paperwork, got my name changed and everything to his name. And I wouldn't tell him or nothing. I just kept the card. And then my mom brought the issue up again. Oh, he'll do it whenever he's ready. Now, I'm graduating, going to the military. He still ain't changed it. No problem. So I know him for 4 years. 4 years. And then when he got old and
that's great, Matt.
I had him live with me to try to make a connection still while he couldn't do nothing for himself. And I think that's one of the worst mistakes I ever did, trying to correct his mistake. And it kind of fall back on me and my family because I'm trying to correct his mistake, trying to show love, but there was no love still. And sometimes, even with my kids, I think about, I said, was he right in what he did? Am I wrong in what I'm doing? Because my kids are spoiled. I don't care what nobody said, these kids are spoiled. And I kind of say, because he didn't do nothing for me, and is that the way I am now, where I do everything for my kids and help them out and everything?
Yeah.
Whole time I knew him. My 8th grade suit I bought. When I graduated high school, my suit I bought. Anything I did, he didn't participate. He gave me a Falcon. He gave it to me on a Monday and sold it on a Friday. So there's a difference between a daddy and a father. Anybody can be a father.
Read that statement that Emma Brown just posted.
I was looking at that. Some fathers are better than the mamas, but some moms will lie to the kids to say he's not going to do nothing for you just to make them look bad. Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But I can't say my mom didn't. She didn't tell me nothing bad about him, because actually when I came to the knowledge of realizing things and everything, I thought my grandparents was actually my parent. Until my grandmother told me, this who you think is your big sister? This is your mama. So that's when everything starts spinning around and everything. I'm crying in the car, and my grandmama's sitting on the porch crying because I'm leaving. But it's a hard time for me concerning me and my daddy. But my kids, they love this time because they show me how much they love me and stuff.
Well, see, you are still reaping the rewards from your children and grandchildren.
Yes.
That's right. And like Cece said, you have to find a balance there somewhere.
Right.
And I didn't pick this particular subject to pick on the guys. I really didn't. But I just, after talking with him, I just had to throw this out here to you all in the chat, because I'm sort of like you, Jed. I think that a daddy is a whole lot different, because my daughter called me Didi. You know what I'm saying? So and Jim Boogie do too. So it's a Father Day thing, but it's the fathers a lot of time that get the blame. It's just like people said in the chat here. Sometimes they can tell the kids certain things because they done broke up, don't have that love and feeling and trust anymore with the guy. They can feed that into the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I have a problem with my neighbors downstairs. Uh, she got 3 kids. The 2 youngest ones is the guy she's with now, is his kids. And she has one older one that's not his. But he does treat all 3 of them the same.
Right.
But when they fall out, that's when it gets separated. And I've actually heard the kids say, "Oh, there they go again."
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it
is a trying time, and it's not any ethnic group or whatever. It's not any race involved in this, because it happens in all races, all of them.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, a true father, daddy, or whatever will spend time with those kids one way or another.
Yes.
Because legally, you can get time with your kids.
Yes.
That's a fact.
Yeah, legally, yeah.
Now, even though I've noticed now, if the man and the woman is not married, before you could put that daddy's name on the paperwork. Now you got to do paperwork just to put his name on the paperwork. Yeah. I said, what?
Yeah, they go into the lady's last name. Yeah,
but
which I think is a good thing.
I wish they would go ahead and do the DNA test beforehand, and because you got a lot of men out here raising other people's kids, and the kids find out, or he finds out in the worst way, that those was never his children, and she knows that those aren't his kids, or she might not be sure that those aren't his kids, and that caused a lot of disruption in the family, and the kids are the ones who suffer in the end, because they might have gotten attached to this individual because that's the only father figure that they have. And then all of a sudden, he's done with it. He's done with the mom. And then the kid is trying to rationalize, was this my fault that all of this happened? Did I do something wrong? And it's just a hot mess. And like they said, it's best that if they're not sure, get a DNA test early in the game. Don't let it go 15, 20 years later, then come back and find out those aren't your kids,
Yeah, because you're actually hurting the child.
Right.
I'm saying they don't want to suffer in the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another good thing to it now, there's a lady that comes into she used to come into my chat, or she show up when I'm on somebody else's chat, and I would say that was my daughter, and she lives in Alabama, and her husband father was a friend of mine. He passed, and during the funeral, his son walked up to me and said, "You my daddy now." And I'm saying, what? But from that day on, he used to always come to my house, but from that day on, I treat him as my oldest son. Yeah. Even when he act crazy and stupid, that's my oldest son.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing. You'll be blessed for it. I can tell you that.
And that's the thing that I don't understand is, how can you turn on and off if you raising somebody else's child, you didn't know about it for 15 years. And then just say on the 15 and a half year, you found out that wasn't your kid. How can you just turn that off? Did you really love that child? Like in the dirt? Or like, how is that? Because
but you know what?
Maybe because a woman, I don't think I would be able to do it. Yeah. But maybe it's different for a man and their feelings. And
they're hurt. Yeah. They're hurt. They feel like they've been betrayed, and they don't know how to express it at that one particular time. They might come back later after they sit down and try to rationalize or understand that it's the child that's caught in the middle of all of that. But he feels betrayed, and that makes it harder for the next woman that comes along. Because will he even trust her or give her the opportunity to be trusted because of what this other woman did, And if by any chance she has kids before they hook up. You know, some women come with, how they say, with luggage. You know, is he gonna worry about, well, what's the baby's daddy like? You know, is he gonna be coming by here? Is he gonna be calling? Is he gonna be interrupting our lives? Is he gonna be all up in your business every time he come by? I got to go in another room while y'all discuss this, that, and the third. You know, it just makes it hard. And like I said, the kids is the ones that's caught in the middle of all of that. And that's the worst part of it all. Grown-ups, they get messy, but the kids is the ones that ultimately pays the price.
Yeah.
Well, you're so right.
Hands in the dirt. Happy Father's Day, King.
Me and my wife only had 2 children. We only had 2, but we raised a total of 5, and my grandson makes 6.
Yeah.
Well,
I used to have a big house, and I used to have my nephews and cousins and stuff over every weekend to get their parents a little relief. And then next thing I know, I'm raising their kids. Mm-hmm. Their kids is at my house more than they are at home. And they quit calling me auntie, start calling me mom. So when my grandkids started coming along, they look at me, they didn't call me Gram. I kept saying I'm grandma. They like mom, because they hear everybody else calling me mom. Mm-hmm. So, this is funny, y'all. I had Caucasian neighbors, and I had all the kids in the backyard. They was playing basketball because I had a hoop on the garage. And one day she called over and she said, "Are all those kids yours?" And I was like, she thought I was the old woman in the shoe that had so many kids. Didn't know what to do. And I was like, no, it's only 3 of them out there belong to me. The rest of them are cousins, nephews and what have you. And they will go home by Sunday because they got school on Monday. She said, oh, okay. And what was so funny, she had 8 children of her own. Nikki. And her oldest son would come out and play ball with the kids. And he was the tallest one, and he would shoot from the porch all the way to the garage, and the kids would sit there and go, wow. Yeah. But it's just funny how people perceive when they see you with a bunch of kids, but they don't see any men around. They want to know who's raising these kids, who's responsible for these kids, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, that statement that Stacy just made about the only ones that's
many cases
being paid are the one that's being tested.
Yeah. The one tested, yeah. Hey, Nikki, how are you, hon?
But, this type of conversation that we're having tonight could really go on for years.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's something that really, if you really think about it, the problem being not whether a person is a good father or a good daddy, because, even when Jed was talking about that he gave advice to somebody, you are a fathering then. Mm-hmm. And unbiased and Sister Shirley give somebody a drink of water and a conversation and a meal, they are mothering them.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So what was the old saying? It takes a community
to raise a child.
Yeah.
Village
to raise a child.
Think about it.
It does.
And back then, during that era of our parents and stuff, the community was a village.
Yeah.
Because many times,
everybody was a snitch. Everybody.
I used to be I lived in New York. I was on Elizabeth Street, which is about 6 blocks away. And when what's her name? Vanny Lou, she said, "You better stop that, boy." When I get to the house, my grandmama tagged me. And then she said, "You ain't had no business acting up around her." So actually, I got it twice. Yeah. I got it from Miss Vanny Lou, and I got it from my grandma.
Well, read that statement by Analytic God.
And let me elaborate on that. I'm gonna read it. She said, "My nephew lost one of his sons after a DNA test when his son was about 10 years old. It was devastating." So I just have I want to say something about that. and this is just in my personal opinion. No, I ain't trying to offend nobody, right?
Right.
But I just feel like if I've been with this child for 10 years,
There you
I don't
go.
want a DNA test.
There you go.
No. I want a DNA test. but
Not
the thing-
after 10 years. Why you didn't
Now,
get
still-
it in the beginning? Because you felt like that was for you.
But still, I still want a DNA test for the simple reason something may happen to that boy when he get 20 years old and he need my kidney and my kidney won't work for him.
Hey,
Well, you're gonna get
Sylvia,
that after the
honey,
test anyway. You're gonna get a test.
GT.
You're gonna get a test for that anyway.
Well, I'll put it this way. If there's any female that come to my house, let me see, my son is 38. If she come and she's 40, 41 years old, she might be my daughter.
Hey, Sylvia.
I'm not gonna tell you the rest of that, but if she's 40 or 41, she might be my daughter.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, and I'm not a male. I don't know, and I don't know how, the man would feel. I'm just saying, if I loved or said that I loved this kid for 10 years, and then all of a sudden, no matter what happens with the mama, no matter what she said, no matter what somebody else said, I've raised this child for 10 years. I love him or her supposedly, unconditionally, as if he or she was my child.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want a DNA test. Keep the truth to yourself or whatever. This is my kid, and I'm still gonna take care of him or her and do what I need to do. Now, if they get older and want to test themselves, that's fine.
That's their business. That's right.
That's their
Hey, Oda.
business. That's just my opinion. I just feel like at 10 years old, and the mama knew, I'm sure, right?
Mhm.
But you're gonna put that child through that could have been avoided.
Yeah.
Y'all could have worked that out and just been like, we just gonna keep that to ourselves. And I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong for that. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, but unbiased, like you said, it could have been a medical condition that came up where this popped up. Wait a minute.
Okay,
And
I see what you're saying.
Even if that might have been the case, like you said, you've put in the work, you've put in the time, you've put in your feelings. But as I said, in the end, the child suffers because you say, okay, I'm done with it. I'm through with it. Or either you say, we're going to stick this out. Even though he might go to his real dad, that doesn't mean I'm no longer his dad.
Right.
I didn't put in the work for this child.
That's just like a marriage. Somebody messed up or something, you work it out. I mean, maybe not. I guess depending on the severity of it. I don't know. But
Right.
I'm just saying, I know for a fact my grandmother took a lot of stuff from my grandfather. Yeah. And she stayed there. They worked it out. They might have in the end slept in separate rooms or whatever the case may be, but nobody went anywhere.
Yeah.
So to me, it's the same thing with a child. It's like, yeah, you may have found out, no matter if it was medically or somebody blurted it out, whatever the case may be. But for 10 years, you took care of this kid, saying that you love him or her. I just don't understand how you can, even if I'm hurt, how I can just say, forget you and forget this situation.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm hurt straight off the bat, I'm gonna say forget it straight out. I'm gonna say forget it. I don't want to hear it. But when I come back to my mind and reality, I love this child.
You're right.
So I'll come back and say I love him, but there'll be a different there. Okay, you're not my child, but
and
I'm
that's
gonna love you
fine.
as my child.
That's totally fine that you do not do all of the things that you were doing prior to. However, if that child needed you, you should be there, because for 10 years, that's all he or she knew. I can see if the baby was 21 months, they may not even remember you. But 10 years, come on, that's a lot. That's
and that's what I was saying. The child is the one that ends up suffering in the end.
Yes.
GT want to come up. GT gonna preach.
Hey, GT, welcome in.
GT coming up.
He got his son.
We asked him to come up last time and send.
Hey, Oda.
Information, and he didn't do it. He just put GT down there, and that was it.
Mhm.
It says, Ernie said, keep
Yeah.
the kids' feelings in mind.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
Can I interrupt?
And for a 10-year-old, you can explain to him or her what happened. But I'm still going to be there for you. I just can't be here with you, but I can still be here for you. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's the mothers or if it's, you know.
Can I throw a wrench in this right quick?
No.
It's going to kind of change everything around.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's go back to the 60s and 70s. It was programmed and it was made that the black father was not in the home.
Mm-hmm.
The black father was to be constantly working or he's in jail.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how now food stamps was made for white people, not black people.
Mm-hmm.
But now, in order for you to get these food stamps and stuff, you can't have a man in the house.
Right.
But a white couple, they had a man in the house.
Right.
So they rigged it up where that man has to be constantly working or he can't care about them wife, kids, or whatever. And even though it happened in the 60s, 70s, and coming all the way up to now, it still kind of pushed the men where do your own thing. You don't need to be in the house. My daughter, she lived in low income, and they told you can't have no man in here.
Mm-hmm.
And if a man come here, he can't sleep here. His car better be gone before it get dark outside.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of pushing the way men are now, but then you also got to come to the point. Men have to accept the responsibility. Is it their fault or is it your fault? If you're a man and you say that you're a real daddy and you don't do what you're supposed to do, it's your fault. But that's why I tell anybody, I'm a daddy. I'm not a father. I'm a daddy.
Did you all read what Fatima said?
I'm 48 today. My mother still will not tell me who my bio dad is.
See, yeah, and that's some messed up stuff.
Right.
That's some messed up stuff.
It really is.
In the what you saying, J3, like about the housing and all this other stuff, and this is just my opinion, so I don't want to offend anyone, okay? If I am in public housing or what have you, and I am with or the man is pursuing me or whatever the case may be, and baby, get me out of here.
Yeah. Well, true. That is true. And the thing to it is, you like I said, some men have to take the responsibility, and some don't want the responsibility. I just want to date you by unbiased, and that's it. We ain't gotta live together and all that. Some men are like that because those are some of the men that was raised wrong with no father, or they got the wrong idea about having a mate.
Fatima, are you able to, like, so I'm just gonna ask your real name, like, you know, do you know is that your real name? Because sometimes you can put your name in the system, like on Google, and sometimes it will pick up other people in your family that you know nothing, you know, you've never met them before. Like it's associated with you at some point. And maybe you can reach out and find out about your father through Google. I mean, honestly, you can do that yourself if you know like something about the person, a cousin, or really anything of their, you know, on their side.
Yeah, if you know your mother's brothers and sisters, and that way you can go ancestry.com and all that. You can go there and get that information.
Put your mama name in there, girl, and see what's what.
Right.
You're like, girl, I've been spying on you.
Because me and my wife, we did the family history thing, and we did it, and you'd be surprised at the people that you're actually kin to.
Yeah.
I've got two famous ones that I didn't know I was kin to them, but one of them were like fifth, sixth cousin, and the other one, he's with my great granddaddy, but he's famous. I didn't.
So true, Analytic. So true.
Yeah, And these kids are being brought into all these situations, and like I said, they're the ones that end up being hurt the most after the dust settles, because
Oh yeah.
they have no say so in the situation. They just stuck
That's
it.
right.
You know, they either have to go with one parent or go with the other parent, you know, or be split between the two. And then,
Right.
you know, the kid doesn't know who he should give his real allegiance to, because I got mom over here saying dad ain't this and that and the third. And I got dad over here saying your mama a hoe and this and that and the third, you know. And the kids are stuck in the middle. And I think it's just the worst thing. And they wonder why so many kids out here got so many issues. Because
I see you hands in the
they
dirt.
coming and going in some cases. You know, they're pulled both ways, and they're not getting any relief, and they don't have anybody they can turn to say, help me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right, Stacy.
I see what hands in the dirt said. You're right. I mean, you're right. And I hate that for us. I really do. I hate that for us, our people, because it's on the applications temporary, or it should just be in your mind temporary. Because at some point it's like, you okay with people coming in your house once a month telling you that this ain't clean, that ain't clean, this needs to be fixed, that needs to be, like, I don't get that, because I have a friend and that's what she like, oh, I got inspection tomorrow, like whatever. And you know, at some point you will want to not, you know, grow up. Shit, that's what I say.
Yeah, but it's like Cheryl Norris said, though, you know, parents are putting the kids in adult situations, which is not even fair, because, you know, mentally, you can scar a child.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You definitely can scar a child mentally.
But did y'all see Odom said he was 32 years old when he met his dad for the first time?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
And you know what made me mad is when they started bad mouthing one another.
Yeah.
I hate that. You know, like when I got my divorce from my husband, and he's passed since then, and my son could truly say I didn't badmouth him or his dad. And I was like, why? What purpose would it serve? That means that I haven't matured, that I haven't grown up. All right, my job is to make sure that you're mentally and physically balanced, you know, and I'm not going to dog out your daddy or anybody just to make myself feel good when I know it's going to affect you in the long run. And he could tell you, my mom ain't never said a bad word about him. But one thing, after I cut you loose, I don't have nothing else to do with you anyway. So I don't want to say nothing about you. I don't want to think about you. You on your own. You screwed up, going about your business, not going about mine. I'm not going to sit there and dwell on that. I got my own life to live. So I don't have time to worry about, oh, he wasn't so and so, he didn't do this, that, and the third. I don't care. That's why these kids all messed up now. I you know, sometimes you be sitting in the doctor's office in the waiting room, and you hear some of the dumbest conversations about people talking about they men. And whether it's talking to another woman sitting next to him or being on a telephone. I actually told a girl, I said, this ain't the place or the time for you to be having this conversation. Don't nobody want to hear about your personal life. Take that outside or sit in your car or whatever. She looked at me like she wanted to say something. And you know what I told her? Go for it. Go for it. Like, girl, I'll call you back later. Smart move.
Yeah.
Smart move.
Analytic Garden, I agree with you 100%. Now, my mom and dad, they was high school sweethearts. My mom was in high school when she had me, and he left the state of Georgia, and she never spoke bad about him. I've got an uncle who treated me like I was his son. He taught me how to do sheetrock and everything. She had another boyfriend. My mom had a boyfriend who taught me how to be a mechanic. Those are the two main skills I learned from my father. And when I met my father, he didn't teach me anything. Everything else I learned on my own or there was somebody I accept as a father, and they taught me how to move around in this world. So,
Oh, David, you said just what I was about to say. Find that one girlfriend who used to be your mama's girlfriend that ain't your mama girlfriend no more. She gonna tell you everything. You know. And still mad and scarred and whatever the case may be. And I pray, let me say this. I pray that maybe, that they are not keeping this secret from you because maybe your dad is your grandfather or your uncle or your brother or whatever. I don't know, but somebody in your family.
But you still got the right to know that.
And I understand that, but I'm saying, back then they used to keep that secret till the person.
Right.
They never told somebody that, right? So I just pray that that's not the case, and the man is still around, and I don't know, but you know what I'm saying. I just pray that that's not the case. But in any instance, find that girlfriend that used to be girlfriends with your mama that ain't girlfriends no more, and I guarantee you she gonna tell you.
Yeah, if you could find her, that's right.
You're right about that. I think he was 20 hands.
But you know what we was talking about, sister, you was talking about your grandmama, your grandparents and stuff, and especially your grandma, because they had, I don't know, it was just some kind of charisma that they had in order to get the information or get the work. My grandmama, I could go to her and everybody be broke around the whole house. And my grandma go in that back room and come back. And I had a few dollars in my hand.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
You see what I mean?
He was 4 years older than my mom, Hands. So she was 18, he was 20 something.
But you know what? It depends on the household too. My stepfather, I didn't particularly care for him. He didn't particularly care for me. And then my mom had 4 more kids. And he doted on those kids because those were his kids. I wasn't his kid. But I told him, I was like, all right, that's cool. Long as you don't put your hands on me, you'll live to tell it. Because I told him, if you ever put your hands or touch me, mom needs to have your insurance policy paid up.
I know that's right.
So I was like, since you love them kids, you keep them kids. But one thing I could say between my brothers and sisters, we never considered ourselves half brothers and sisters. We considered ourselves brothers and sisters, siblings.
Right. That's siblings. What you were. That's right.
So we had, as children, we had more sense and more solidarity than the parents did.
Mm-hmm. So I just cannot, because y'all, I'm telling you, this Fatima Queen.
Yeah, I wanted to say something about that too.
It's weighing heavy on me because of what you putting in the chat, and I just want to pray.
Talk about it.
I want to pray for you, and I want to pray that no matter the outcome, no matter if you find out or if you don't find out, I pray in the name of Jesus that you get peace within this situation.
Yeah.
And I don't know for a fact that it's hurting, but I can tell that you're hurt.
Yeah.
And I pray for your peace, Queen. At some point in your life, I pray that God gives you the strength to move past this. Whether you find out, you don't find out, I just pray for your peace, because at the age that you are now, it's just going to be hard for you to really find out the answers that you're looking for. And I mean, I know if your mom has not said anything at this point, she's taking that to her grave.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I just pray that you don't continue to hurt. I mean, like I really do.
Well, I'm also going to put her in my prayers because,
yes.
I do know and understand how she's feeling. I do. And it's very important that we have chats like this. You know, it's important because, see, tonight we possibly could have helped Fatima.
Yeah.
You know, and I am glad she responded to our chat. I'm glad she brought
Amen.
this up.
Amen.
And see, I would also tell her to check the records, like at City Hall or
Wherever she was born, that's the first place to start.
See, this is the problem. A lot of times, this is the problem when a child is very young. The parents move somewhere else.
Yeah.
The mom take the kids and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's
See
why I
what
got
I'm
3 Social Security cards.
Yeah, and it becomes difficult.
J3, are you who you say you are? Because we don't know at this point.
No, he's not.
You a fake and a fraud. I don't know. We gotta watch him, y'all. We gotta watch him.
Like to hold
Now,
him down. Yeah.
Fatima, I just want to say this right here, and I'm glad you're in the chat. And I'm not me, but many other people say it. We're family now. We wasn't family until we came together and we talked to each other and we understand each other. And when we say we love you, that's pure love. It's not me just saying I love you.
Right.
If I say I love you, I love you. And that's how I want you to understand right now. We're talking to you, but we actually love you. You're missing some things right now, but we love you enough to stand in. Mr. Bammett, he's a good father figure right there.
Yes, he is.
I'm a good brother figure. You got a good mom and a good sister figure right there too. We're here. When I say we love you, when I say I love you, when I tell anybody I love you, I mean it from the heart. It's not just
because I'm not gonna say it if I don't mean it.
That's it.
That's right.
I'll tell you that now.
Put that out to anybody.
Yeah, that's just the way I am. That's the way I'm built. Because if I tell you something, then I'm gonna break my neck doing it. I'm gonna do 99%. I might not can do 100, but I'm gonna do 99%.
Yeah, I don't mind telling you. You stay over there.
Yeah,
that's right. And one thing that we as adults, I won't just say fathers, but we as adults should learn to use that 2-letter word, N-O.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, if it's something that you don't want to do and you ain't going to do, just say no.
Mm-hmm.
Because my kids will tell you right quick that Diddy don't mind saying no.
Yeah.
You know, but if it's something that they really deserve, really need, they know they can come to me.
Yeah.
They can do that.
I'm gonna start saying Diddy. I don't say no.
Hands in the dirt. You better hurry up and order some because I think there's only 5 left. Then I got to make some more of all of them.
But
and I have a question.
Go ahead.
For the people in the chat and on the panel, for a man or a woman, is it hard for you to say no, or is that something that you can just do? You know, when you feel it's necessary. No, it's just no.
Depends on the situation.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna weigh in first and I guess as a female, as a mother, as a nurturing person, it's hard for me to say no. In the back of my mind, I want to say no because I know that depending on what it is, that my child can probably do it on his or her own. And then for them to come to me to do it, knowing that they're capable of doing it, it really pisses me off. But then I don't say no because I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, what kind of mother would I be if I say no?
Well, it's hard. It's hard to say no, but let me tell you something. I can say it.
Well,
I can say it.
I can say
I might not mean it completely then when I say it, but I can say no.
Right.
Well, okay, no, and mean it though. So let me just hold up.
Okay.
I know when I was growing up, I could go to my dad and say, you know, XYZ or whatever. He would say no, but it was the tone in his voice. When he would say no, I knew he meant yes. And so I knew that I was going to get whatever it was I was asking for, right? So just because you say no, but your child knows he don't mean that. What's
Well,
the point in saying no when you're gonna do it anyway?
Mine know that I mean it.
Okay.
Mine know when I said no.
Okay.
A lot of times it's a situation, because I'll tell my son and daughter, I'll tell them no, and it's no. It's no. I'm not going to do something. I know if I do it for you, it'll end up hurting you in the long run. So I tell you, doing a heartbeat.
Okay.
Well, see, being an OG back in the day, kids was, couldn't be seen and not heard. Okay. Yeah. And you couldn't say no back then as a child. All right. As I got older, because I'm the first and the oldest granddaughter. So anytime somebody died or got sick or whatever, they volunteered my services, and I didn't have the right or the chance to say no. Then once I got old enough, I couldn't stop saying no, because I had gotten my feel of what people think I should be doing and how I should be doing it. I'm a nurturer. I do love people. But, at some point in time, I just, how do you say, in my spirit, I felt I was being used or something close. I would say no in a heartbeat, and and I'm not taking it back. It's like, don't ask me again. You asked me, I told you, don't ask me again. At that point, they know I'm fed up. I don't want to hear it. Take it somewhere else. Don't come nowhere near me. Or if I can turn my head and don't look at you.
Hey, Mona.
What I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So Miss Shirley, even though you said no, once you said no and the conversation was done, let's just say you went in your room. Did you think about it after that, or you just was like no and you never thought about it again? It was out of your mind, out of your system.
Watch this, I'm biased. No.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because I
already thought about it.
No.
I've already thought about it before I even said it. I heard every word you said, and I already made up in my mind. I know how this is going to end. So let me just cut you off from the beginning and just say no and move on. I'm not doing it. I ain't thinking about it. I don't care about it. Bye, Felicia. No.
Okay, so I'm just saying, I say no, and then I might go in my room, go in the car, take a ride, do something, and I'd be like, but maybe I start second guessing myself, and then I may come back 10 minutes later and change my mind. So
it's just that you decided to think about the situation.
Yeah, but I'm biased. Have you ever heard of the expression? No, I'm biased. Have you ever heard of the expression N and the O? No.
I'm being honest, because I feel like
get a little older. I guarantee you, all of that nurturing and stuff. I am a nurturer. I love people. I am a people person. But I guarantee you, when you get to a certain stage, when you say no, you're not gonna think about it, hear about it. No. Just no.
Especially when you feel people use you a bit too much.
They need some consistency.
Yeah.
If you gonna say no, then mean it.
Because if you say no and then turn around and change your mind, what was the purpose of saying no in the first place?
And then they know they can come back to you and
I said no because I'm mad at the situation, or it's emotional, it's feelings involved, right?
There's always feelings involved, because
I'm like no. And then, I'll go think about it, and then I'll be like, okay, well, I thought about it. Maybe we could do it, do it like this, that, and the third. No, don't never stick with me. Not a lot.
What did you understand?
Different parents.
No, live a little longer. I guarantee you.
Yes. Because it's just like Hands in the Dirt said in his chat, that you got to deal with some consistency. You got to let them know that you mean no when you say it.
Yeah.
And you can ask Angel, she'll tell you right quick. When I said no, that's what I mean. And Fran said I could say no the quickest she had ever seen. But I just tell her, that she says something or asks me about doing something. I just tell her it's not going to happen today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Miss Cheryl, I'm not married, so I don't know. But
it's just like when my kids look at me and I say no, and then they come back and they ask me the same thing over again, hoping that I will soften up, or like you think about it.
Yeah.
I was like, do I need to repeat myself? You asked the question, I gave you the answer. Don't ask me again.
No. I can tell Miss Cheryl I am not married. However, when I was dating, I could not accept no. And I mean, like, I just can't accept that. That's probably why I'm single, because men they don't want to hear that. But I get, and my dad spoiled me, so it's like I can't accept no. I just can't.
They understand the word no, believe me. You ain't the first woman that told him no.
No, I meant a man. Like, a man can't tell me no.
Their mama didn't told them no. If they got sisters,
what you mean a man can't tell you no?
Cousins, they didn't told them no. Somebody didn't told them no.
First of all, if I'm dating a man and I come to the man and say I need this, or XYZ, is not often. It ain't every day. It's probably once a year, or twice a year, or whatever the case may be, because I stand on my own feet. And so if I come to you, I'm not expecting no. I can accept you saying, let me work on it, but I cannot accept you saying no if I'm not that coming to you every 5 minutes for something, period. And that's just on GP.
Okay.
Well, even with my grandson.
While we're on that particular word, people say you're supposed to forgive and forget.
David say no.
You're supposed to forgive and forget. That's what they say.
Now you
can
forgive,
forgive you,
but that don't mean
forgive you, but I don't forget it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, what are your thoughts on that? You see what happens?
I didn't question. I was sitting there reading what the analytic was saying about her kids.
Yeah, but
I do that with my grandson for the simple reason.
I'll just read what Hands in the Dirt said.
Yeah.
Somebody's just saying
what analytic put up there. When my grandson asks me something, I say, go ask your grandma. For the simple reason, I know how I'm gonna respond if something happened. I know what I'm gonna do, but I don't want my wife to get excited about nothing. Just deal with the situation. So even if you want to go down to the park or whatever, I said, ask your grandma, and you let me know what she say, and I take it from there.
It's about like me, Sylvia. I don't forget. I forgive you, but I don't forget it. Because if you forget it, then you keep on
getting in trouble.
That's right.
Keep on getting in trouble. No.
You keep on saying no when I can't accept it.
That's right. You keep on repeating it. You repeat it, repeat it, and repeat. Let me tell you this now, because that you can forgive that dog for running at you one time, but you gonna forget what that dog is and keep going by that dog. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah, no.
You ain't gonna do it.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mine you say the same thing. That's what I tell friends. Not today. But anywho, what we're gonna do here is give away a little Father Day gift certificate, and then we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna do this thing between 100 and 200. We're gonna do a number between 100 and 200. Everybody put start in the chat. So
we both get to started.
Jed put start in there.
Can anybody play?
Yeah, anybody can play.
David, be quiet, David.
100 and 200, Nikki. Nikki, 100, between 100 and 200.
What's she putting? I can't even tell you.
Oh, that is. Oh. Analytic Gardner. Go back and check it out. 155, Analytic Gardner.
Okay, let me go here. Start over.
You said 155?
155.
Yes,
Stop. Stop, people.
I wrote stop in there.
Okay.
I see analytic. Okay. I'm checking. Oh, and 150.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of 154s, but when I saw 155 was 10.
Yep.
Analytic. All I see is analytic.
Congratulations, Queen.
Yeah.
All right, tag. You tagged that one.
I'm gonna be like Crafty Leo. She stole my number. The analytic garden stole my number.
She tagged that one.
Tag, I don't have your information in my phone. Like I said, I lost all my contacts in the phone, but email me at Bennett with Arthur Butler or either spankydog41@gmail.com. And send me some info and we'll get this right in the mail to you.
All right.
So we're going to tell you all I love you.
You're welcome.
And there ain't a thing that you can do about it.
And
Love them back.
And happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
And I will see you all Tuesday night on the roll call. Thank you so much for being here, people.
Have a good night.
Yeah, have a good night, man.
Be safe.
Good night.